Hello, welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. How the devil are you? Well, at the beginning of May, we had some amazing practitioners giving small talks in the Confident Practitioner Community. Now, you may or may not have had a chance to listen to them, but this is your second chance now, because I know not everyone is in Facebook. I know not everybody is on social media at the right time for all of these things. But if you're anything like me, you pick your podcast time, you know when you've got that time to pop those earbuds in and have a listen. So I hope you enjoy these podcasts as I talk to some of my amazing practitioner colleagues. Enjoy.
Let go of that whole competition thing. Use all the tools in our industry. There are so many these days to support you and help your practice grow and thrive. Play with ChatGPT. It can help you with your marketing. It can help you create booklets for your clients. It can help you create forms. If you can dream it, ChatGPT can create it for you. And the more you ask those questions, the more ChatGPT will be gathering that information. And so it will actually get better and better and better as you go.
Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, coaches, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to the needs of you, the practicing natural therapist. We have interviews during the holiday season and business and mindset support each week, so you'll get the variety you need to enjoy and stay motivated in your practice. Don't forget to subscribe to receive the weekly episodes. And if you want to connect with me, always check the show notes, because that's where you'll find the links to book appointments and, of course, to join the Academy, the membership group, where there's constant connection and community with like-minded practitioners. Now, let's get started. And hopefully it means that it's now 9 o'clock on the other side of the country. It's nice and early in Perth, should we say very, very early in Perth, where Lesley is joining us from. So this is Lesley-ann Bergstrom, everyone. And Lesley is a naturopath I have known for years. I've done some of her courses and I've worked with her, and she's done some of my courses. And Lesley has an amazing, she has a lot of vision. She has a lot of thought, reaches forward and really thinks about the future. And so today she wanted to talk to us. She's got a lot going on. She has courses and she's written a book, and we're going to talk all about that at the end. But right now, we're going to talk about the future of who we are, natural medicine. We're going to talk about how AI can help us and create that vision of our business that we all want, that vision of who we are and where we're going. And with the help of AI, which, I mean, I'm totally using AI. I used it 2 days ago with my daughter. I put her CV and the job application into ChatGPT and said, please give me a cover letter, because her cover letter was terrible. It gives you a really verbose cover letter, which you then reduce down. So we'd gone from the very bland of hers to the verbose of AI to the perfect letter. So there is so much help out there with AI and the way we can use it. And so Lesley thought, this is day one of our learning event for this week. So let's think about the future and how we can be using things to help ourselves. So Lesley, welcome. It's great to have you here. Tell us a bit about yourself and your thoughts on AI.
Well, hi, beautiful people. So I'm a naturopath and a herbalist, and I have worked in so many areas. So I've run my own clinic before. I've worked as a rep before, and I now help out in one of the busiest clinics in Australia. And so it's such a beautiful perspective on all the different opportunities as a naturopath and the scope there actually is out there in what you can do once you are qualified and where to go. And I'm finding it really exciting with AI. It is so intimidating when you begin, but when you start asking it questions, it is fascinating. And what inspired me to want to reach out and share this with you, I was actually reading an article the other day about how AI is stepping into medical prognosis. And what is fascinating for me, I talk to clients every day coming into the clinic, and it seems to me that the medical system is failing people in so many ways. And natural medicine is actually the medicine of the future. We actually spend time with clients. We actually talk to them. We actually care about them. We don't spend 5 minutes and fob them off. It's just really sad how many people feel failed by the medical system. And what is so fascinating with AI, there was a case the other day where a man was given 3 months to live with his prognosis, and he had seen 6 different doctors, and they put all his symptoms into AI, and it came up with one product that helped him and has extended his life. And that was completely mind-blowing for me. And so it really shows us that in the future, I was having a bit of a look-see on what is actually available. So there is AI that will actually even work through your camera and record your voice. So when you're in a session with a client, it will record your voice and create notes for you out of that session. So you don't even have to write notes anymore. I mean, there are bots, which you all know about, which will obviously take appointments for you and give information about your clinic. The AI that is coming in that is more medical specific, it actually can troll through diagnostic tools these days. And it will actually pick up things like cancer and certain things with radiology right now, because it can actually detect things more refinedly than what a doctor would see. AI actually passed the medical bar exam in February of this year, and it got 60% in the past. And when they were comparing it to diagnostic from a doctor, the general Joe Bloggs was getting 50% right. I think AI was getting about 70 or 80%, and doctors were getting slightly higher from that, which is really interesting. Where your trouble comes in is obviously what questions you ask AI. That is where the trouble, because some people, they don't know how to describe their symptoms. And we all know that as pracky. It's like some people say that they are stressed, but they're actually having heart palpitations. Just got no idea or consciousness about their own bodies and their symptoms. And I find that quite fascinating too when I have a chat to clients. So don't be afraid of ChatGPT. I'm finding it fascinating to go down the rabbit hole of even asking about genes and what deficiencies that is in regard to nutrients. So you'll know your zone of genius and how you want to go down the rabbit hole in regards to AI. And have a look at, like, what is it that I need help with in my practice? The scope is just mind-blowing, because can you imagine you send a bot for a client to fill out their pre-appointment forms? They send you all their symptoms, all their history, all their testing that they've done so far. You can add to that any testing that you do with a client. And then you maybe put it into ChatGPT and it gives you 5 diagnostic tools of, like, this is what could be going on with the person. And we may even get to the stage where it may recommend alternative treatment, because it is learning continuously and it is growing. They say it's growing 100 years in every 2 years at this stage. So it's growing way faster than we can even imagine. So we can't even dream at the stage of how much it's going to be able to support us. And I really encourage you not to be afraid of it, because it is going to be another tool that we use. Because don't you find everybody's been so overwhelmed with tech and being online that we're coming back, everybody's feeling that we want more community. We want more connection. We want to be heard. We want to be seen. We want to be supported. And, that's really kind of leading me into the fact that AI is going to give practice the opportunity to do the whole diagnostic side way faster, to come to conclusions way faster, to create any material you want for your client, to be able to send it to them around their whole treatment plan and what you want to do for them, and supporting literature or courses or programs you want to do. You're just going to have that, like, it's going to be so quick for you. Isn't that exciting? And that is going to give you more time to actually spend emotional time with our clients and to actually support them, support people. I mean, if you haven't experienced stressed clients right now, then you are definitely in a hole somewhere, not talking to anybody, because everybody's stress levels are like at an 8 out of 10. I'm sure, including yours as well. I know mine. Big changes are going on. I find it really fascinating. So I've been a spiritual teacher for the last, I don't know, I've lost count, 30 years perhaps. And it's mostly been about my own journey and healing myself. And through that, I'm a sun personality. I love to share what I experience, because I also learn through teaching. I love teaching because I learn so much about myself and expand my process. And so what I'm finding about that, and what I'm seeing more in practice as well, is we're becoming more trauma informed. And there's so much more consciousness about trauma and how traumatized people really are, and how that is different for each and every person. And so there is even an AI tool around mood and depression, and it's actually pinpointed depression more accurately than doctors at this stage. So isn't that even interesting on how we can use AI to emotionally monitor our clients? And we have such better healing practices than the medical system at that. And then we can also sit with our clients and give that more holistic approach in regards to being more trauma informed. So how we can support the body, how we can support the person emotionally and what tools we can actually give them to support them through this incredibly stressful time right now. I really see naturopathy as it is a medicine of the future. We really need to come back to that. I mean, I always talk about in Germany, you see the naturopath before you see the doctor. And it makes sense because we can direct clients to specialists, to scans, to x-rays. We need to work alongside medical practice, and a lot more doctors are embracing that, which is exciting to see. And things are changing quite rapidly. You know, alternative medicine is stepping into other industries, and that can be so intimidating for us. But it really also gives us the opportunity to come back and look at how do we nurture our clients, because we still a nurturing industry. We so goddess focus, I like to think about that. We still embrace that mother, that nurturing. How are you eating? How are you relating to your family? How are you coping with you? You know, that's important to us. We want a person to live a whole, full life, and we want to support them emotionally. And look at all the tools you have these days to do that with your clients. And so that also then has a look at how we are supporting people spiritually, and however you view that. To me, that is consciousness, that is self-awareness, that is about really experiencing who we are as people, what our vision is in our lives, and where we want to go with that moving forward. How are we supporting ourselves? What is meaningful to us? What is a vision of our future? And I love following astrology because I'm an empath. So when you're an empath, you really feel into things first. And I love to teach that with my students, but I love to feel into what is coming for people and what may be happening. And I see it so often, people don't have meaning anymore. They've got the thing, they've got the car, they've got the house, they've got the family, they've got the holiday to Bali every 3 months, and yet there's still life is blur. Life is blur. In ancient practices, we call this soul loss. It's like throughout our lives, when we have trauma happen, we lose parts of ourselves. And it's those parts that trust that life supports us, or trust that maybe our parents know better than us, or trust that we are supported by society. These are like big things. But in ancient practices, they believe that part of your soul actually leaves so that you can be okay. And then what we do in those practices, we actually go in dialogue with those parts of ourselves and understand why they left. Because if you have a look at, say, under 2, where you don't have language, when you are emotionally overwhelmed, I always call them your buttons. When your buttons are pushed, how do you react? Do you want to run away and hide? Do you completely ignore someone and just pretend it didn't happen? Have you seen people that do that, where something inappropriate happens and they just act like it never happened? Those are kind of like parts of us that have left because we can't sit and be present with something because we don't know how to cope with it. And it becomes fascinating when we go and take opportunity to dialogue with that kind of stuff. We allow that energy to return. And in ancient practice, they actually call that energy back. And so you become aware, you also gain the opportunity to reparent yourself. And we all need that. I mean, have you ever sat with a client and they suddenly turn into a 5-year-old whining and complaining about life and how unfair it is? And it's everybody else's problem to fix them and how nobody's showing up for them. Even as a naturopath in training, I loved having the opportunity to sit with other naturopaths and see how they cope with that and how they parent their clients. That's also quite fun to see. And do you ever remind yourself of your mother or your parent, in how you talk to your clients? So I see that all as opportunity for self-growth as well. I know so many naturopaths, and they're also passionate about what they do, and they find meaning, and it lights them up. And that's what I so love about the industry, is that it's not just your job. This lights you up. It feels meaningful. You really feel like you are making a difference in people's lives moving forward. And that's what lights me up about the industry. And I think there's so many exciting changes. And so I encourage you to embrace it. Don't freak out about it. Don't get scared and run away from it. Embrace the changes that are happening and really see, where is it guiding you towards? Because in my own life, when I get a door, something that's hard or that I feel blocked at or that I'm uncomfortable with, I'm like, what is the universe? What is my life asking me to stop and pivot? We all had to pivot with COVID. It's like pivot or die. I mean, I even helped kinesiologists go online because they'd never done that before. And how beautiful has that been, that you can get kinesiology via distance? They never even dreamed that possibility. And I mean, I had a client meltdown because like, now I'm going to lose my clients. So how am I going to survive? And she did the most incredible sessions via Zoom. How exciting. So we are moving through that rapidly, and it feels like, is it ever going to stop and calm down? Do you ever get that feeling? I'm like, oh my God, I wish it would. cabin in the woods is a big dream a lot. Just give me the cabin in the woods. And so many people are craving that. And that's that. It's about coming back to ourselves. Where are we? What do we want moving forward? Where do we want to go from here? Healer, heal thyself. We all have to go through that work continuously. I know for myself too. I have to take time out. Where am I going? What do I want to do? What's happening with me? And I mean, don't you see that? I mean, I know practice talk about it all the time when clients come to you with continually the same ailment, the same issue. Then you know, like the universe is trying to tell me something. Either I've got to learn that information, or maybe I should sit and look about what is the vibration of that in my life. Sometimes you can just take it back to like, geez, I'm having a client that's continually coming with like betrayal issues, let's just say. Maybe there's betrayal issues in my life. Like, what does that trigger for me if I sit with that? It helps you heal yourself, and it helps you show up better to a client because you're actually bringing your consciousness to what is going on with your life. So I really encourage you, have a look at the major changes in our industry at this time. I work for a clinic. We are purely online, and we must book in maybe 15 to 20 clients a day in our clinic. We are a busy clinic, and there are so many people who need help out there. So there is that kind of opportunity. And that's why I've really enjoyed working for other clinics and being a rep, because as a naturopath, I get to see the possibilities out there. And I'm passionate about this industry and what a difference we can make in people's lives. And people are coming more and more back to natural health because they can go into ChatGPT and type in, how do I cure this more naturally? And often dietary vitamin changes will come up and they go, I haven't thought about that before. And that is so fun for me. You know, I had a shit fight, excuse my language, before with a maths teacher. I was on ice hockey camp with my kid, and his wife came down with the flu. And I encouraged her to take zinc and vitamin C. I mean, to all of us, that's like no brainer. Yeah, that's like the most basic you can do. And then the next thing, her husband arced up, and he was a maths teacher, about I was talking voodoo, woo-woo science. And I was gobsmacked. I was like, wow, thought you had a better education as a teacher. It really shocked me. It really shocked me. And it shocked me also how often I bumped that. My gym instructor kept getting cramps. I'm like, dude, try magnesium. His face. I was like, I thought that was obvious. We do. We take things for granted. I chat to people in clinic every single day, and I have to say about 60% of them have never heard of a naturopath in their lives before. And it really shows how afraid we are also to stick our necks out because of the pushback we get. And I mean, I know I heard that in college quite a lot about don't stick your neck out, you get your head chopped. And it's a really subtle underlying fear. So I'm just on here to be your cheerleader because there is no competition. All the clients out there need you. You have a look at how many other health practitioners, how many doctors are there on every corner? They're all busy. They actually cannot cope. Let go of that whole competition thing. Use all the tools in our industry. There are so many these days to support you and help your practice grow and thrive. Play with ChatGPT. It can help you with your marketing. It can help you create booklets for your clients. It can help you create forms. If you can dream it, ChatGPT can create it for you. And the more you ask those questions, the more ChatGPT will be gathering that information. And so it will actually get better and better and better as you go. And so we're kind of changing into that consciousness of what are the right questions to ask? And isn't that interesting? Because we as health practitioners need to be asking our clients the right questions too. And now we need to pivot about how do we hold our clients better so that we are actually a support system moving forward. And it's not just a diagnostic. It's not like the quick medical model of throw a drug at them and off they go. It's not about that anymore. It's really about how do we emotionally, spiritually, consciously hold our clients and actually help them have a holistic life. Isn't that our aim as holistic practitioners, to help people find balance? I mean, I know I often mentor naturopaths. It's like sometimes people just need to sit and talk to someone for half an hour or an hour. That's actually sometimes the best medicine you can give to a person, is because nobody else sits with them and hears them in their lives.
A couple of things that you've brought up. Number one, ChatGPT. If we're going to use it, folks, we have to be conscious of confidentiality, because there is no confidentiality within ChatGPT, because it is a mass. A mass is information from all sources. So if you're going to ask it about your client, you do have to make sure it's totally de-identified information. But you can use it as well. If you start getting those same clients over and over again, you can make sure that your intake form is right for those clients, because you can ask, if you're putting your clients through with that all de-identified, so you'd say female 41 intake form. Once you've done a few of those, you'll actually be able to say, ChatGPT, I've been giving you my intake form and my intake questions. Can you help me refine it, make it shorter, put it in my words? You can do all those sorts of things. So you can actually enhance what you're doing using the system that's answering your questions. And so right at the beginning of this conversation, I said that I put in my daughter's, the CV and the letter. I wrote in that, this is for my daughter, because I don't want ChatGPT to think that that's my voice and a job that I am looking for, because I don't want to work at student services at the local university that she's at.
They call that natural language processing. So that's actually programmed into ChatGPT. It enables AI bots to understand and process human language, making it possible to extract relevant information from unstructured clinical notes. How amazing is that?
That's amazing. So, I mean, we're all doing it differently, and we're all using, and some people are really scared of it because we do have to be careful of confidentiality. But once you start de-identifying, remember that Facebook is not a secure space. And so when people put in information about clients and ask questions, they're making sure they de-identify. And every so often, someone won't de-identify, and then everyone's like, quick, remove it. But it's already there in the world. I mean, all of this stuff through all of these social media platforms, there's no way that they're not going through some sort of AI somewhere. All of this stuff goes through AI, and it can help us. It can give us the things that we need so that we have more time with the clients, like you said at the end there, Lesley. The time with that client, so often my clients would come in anxious and they would say to me when they left, oh, it's so good coming here. I feel so good when I finish. And my husband would say, what do you do? There's always laughter. It's because I freak out. I can't, I don't want them going further, and I've got to get them over the tears. So I have to lift them up, and that's my personality. I can do that. So I finally get them happy and hopefully a laugh at the end of it before they leave. And I work at home, which is why my husband can go, what are you doing there? Like, you're laughing. I'm like, yeah, I've got an hour with my clients. I've got an hour to get to know them, to realize their problems with them. You're the first person who's listened to the whole story in a really long time. And so it's an amazing opportunity for us to see those clients. And another thing you said there, you said you're working for this really busy clinic and you're booking in like up to 50 people a day. And I'm speaking to another naturopath the other day, and she's got one of her biggest intakes on her program on record because she's adjusting it. She's looking at the feeling. So rather than the lump sum payment, everything is now part payment. She's got 1,000 people tuning in.
And you know what? We're also getting the opportunity to go global now, which is amazing. You know, everybody thinks they're fighting for the fish in their backyard, but actually we're getting to go global. And so that is mind-blowing, the opportunity in regards to that as well.
And that's one of the reasons for being on so early in the morning. People going, oh, no, it's a terrible time to be on. Put your headphones in and just drive the car with the children and nod at them. You'll be fine. You've had those same conversations with them every day. They've forgotten their bag and they've forgotten their lunchbox. Just go back and get it. But the reason we're on early is because of the time zones. We'll get more time zones if we start nice and early. It also means that all of the speakers get to come on and then go to work. So there's all sorts of ways of looking forward. And there's code word for each of these to get the CPD points. And today's code word is awakening, which brings us to what Lesley's doing. You touched on it earlier, how when you do a course, you have a book and you're a published author. And so can you tell us before we go about that book and how you're using it? Because we want to reawaken people. So awakening is your code word. Don't write it in the chat. People have to go towards the end. You're going to have to I'm going to look through all the names. You're not messaging me. I'm going to go through the names and I am going to message you with your certificate because you've said hello. So if you're right at the end, you're to say, what am I going to get them to say at the end? Because I can't say the code word. You're to say Lesley. Say Lesley, and I know that you've stayed all the way to the end. And then you are the ones that I will DM your certificate for today. So you have to write Lesley in the chat now. So, Lesley, tell us about your book.
And also I'd want to say, gee, you can also choose one. I'm happy to give someone away. You can choose a
Oh,
person, a free book. So
okay.
my,
So you definitely have to
so
say Lesley at the end there.
yeah. So
And you have until Friday to get that free
yeah,
book.
yeah.
Okay. So you've got until
So
Friday. Oh, Debbie's already in there. She's got it in.
yeah. So my book is actually based on a course that I've been running for the last 10 years. And I was really exciting to do this because I go and do so many courses online and I'm like, where's the website? Where's the link? I can't find the damn thing. I really want to do that meditation this morning to start my day, just to get back to my center. And so I've been teaching spiritual development through guided shamanic journeys, where it's basically guided to the drum, which takes you into a deeper consciousness. So I've been doing that for about 20 years now. And my main passion is to be really to help people get to know themselves again. Who are you? Where have you come from? What are your blocks? What is sabotaging you through life? So I do this through beautiful guided journeys that you can do. So what I've done, I've got 6 journeys and they're almost like mini workshops going on throughout the book. So I've created it into a book. And so each chapter is around a journey and its information. And so you read through the chapter, and at the end of the chapter is a barcode. And you literally scan the barcode, and it takes you to the guided meditation, which is so awesome. And then after you've done the guided meditation, I have another barcode that you can scan if you want to read other people's interpretations of their meditation. So I love to unpack the symbolism and the messages it's bringing about your life, what's going on. And once you learn to do this, you can actually get clients to do it if they really need to go and do that deeper dive and that self-discovery. I am going to bring an affiliate link at some point, so I'll let you know about that as well. So you can all earn from that if you recommend clients to the course. But yeah, it's a process of self-discovery, coming back to your soul, what is going on in your life. I do this process every day, and the insights it's given me. I mean, I did a meditation. I'm selling my house and I'm going through a process. And my one meditation, I literally got red flags in my meditation, literally got red flags. And it just completely blew my mind. And when I went looking up the animals, they were just so spot on, exactly about what was going on in my life. And it gave me a whole new perspective. And it made me really sit with like, wow, okay, maybe I need to slow things down, pay more attention. It helped me come to things with a better attitude. So you're almost reading the energy in different kinds of ways. And my passion is to really help you plug in to those senses of yours, which are most prominent. So some people see really well, some people hear, some people feel. And it's about really growing that. You all know your intuition when you just know the right product to give someone. It's just, the feeling. You just lines up, you see the picture of it in your head, off you go. So this gives you the opportunity to do it physically with something in your hands. And so I sell this in 2 ways. So you can either just have it as a journal where you can write in it, you can read it, write in it. And at the back, I have the interpretation of the animal messengers and what they are. So sometimes you even see them in your day, like Willy Wagtail and Magpie. They actually are showing you something about your consciousness, something that you need to reflect on in your life. So it's kind of fun when you start reading the animal messengers. And then I've got even the interpretation of the landscapes, like if you have landscapes in your meditation, what they are showing you about your life, or the elementals like fire, earth, water. And in the journeys, if you go deeper and do the course itself, so this little course is $150 and you do it in your own time. And then I have a group where you can hop on and ask questions or share information if you want further insight into your meditations. And so, yeah, the journal on its own is $30. If you just want the journal, you get 2 free journeys with that. One is like a real grounding one. It's a 13-minute one, and one is a water clearing exercise on how to really clear stuck emotion in your energy. But yeah, really, really excited to share this with you. And isn't it a fun way to do it? You could even turn one of your own courses into something like that. I feel like for me, it was just so awesome to have something back in my hands that I could sit and write in it, and I could just scan something to listen to my meditation, and then I could use it to write my reflections and research all my symbolic meanings and really just do a deep dive into my inner life, my inner landscape. So yeah, I'm excited to share this with you. And yeah, G can pull a name at the end of the week and you will win a journal, which is at the value of $30. You can do in your own time. Yeah, and I will get it posted out to you.
That sounds amazing. That's the course that I originally did with you. You did one of my programs, a graduate program, but then I did that one with you and it was great. I really enjoyed it. I can highly recommend it. We had a few issues getting on, and so I'm sorry the sound wasn't as great today as it should have been, but you will be able to re-listen to this all in the group, but it'll be on the podcast in July as well. And it's because Facebook decided to do something rather with Zoom this morning, even though it worked last week, it decided not to work this morning. Thank you all
It's having a Monday.
Yeah.
Having a Monday.
Yeah. So
Thanks for having me, beautiful.
and Lesley in the group, and I will come back at the end of the week. No one's going to get their certificates today, but I will come back at the end of the week and double check. So actually the word, rather than awakening, the word is Lesley for today, and I will come back and you'll all get certificates. So thank you so much for coming on, Lesley. It was great to chat with you. It's got us all thinking about how can I use AI, making sure that I think about, redacting information, because AI is not a secure platform, because it's all about sharing with itself and creating more and developing more. So as long as you remember to not put names and dates and things like that in there, then you're going to be able to use that ChatGPT. You're going to be able to use these systems. You'll be able to find other systems that you can use that have AI that are going to work for you if you go out there and take that leap of faith and go, yeah, I'll give this a go. All right.
Be playful, be curious. Thank you for having me.
Be curious. Perfect ending there. Thank you so much, Lesley. And thanks, guys, for coming in. And we'll catch up with you all tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel. See ya.
Thank you, beautiful. Have a good day.
Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.